Alright, let me tell you a story about how a simple roommate disagreement turned into a full-blown eviction saga. It all started when I moved into a new apartment with a girl I called Jenna. At first, everything was great. We decorated the place, had movie nights, and split the chores pretty evenly. We found the apartment through a landlord I knew personally, which is an important detail for later. He was a nice, older guy who trusted me, and by extension, he trusted her. Things were looking up, and I thought I'd found the perfect roommate. I was, of course, completely wrong. The first red flag popped up about a month in. Noticed some of my favorite snacks were disappearing. I'm talking about the good stuff, the imported chocolates I treat myself to once in a while. I asked Jenna about it, and she just shrugged and said, "Oh, I thought they were communal, a little annoying, but okay." I let it slide. I figured I just needed to label my things more clearly, so I got a special marker and wrote my name on my food in big, bold letters. You'd think that would solve the problem. Right. Wrong. The snack bandit struck again. This time, it wasn't just snacks. A nice bottle of perfume I'd just bought went missing from my bathroom shelf. Then, a new sweater I hadn't even worn yet vanished from my closet. I confronted her again, a little more forcefully this time. "Jenna, have you seen my perfume? Or my new gray sweater?" She looked me dead in the eye and said, "No, why would I have seen them? Maybe you just misplaced them." The gaslighting was real. She made me feel like I was going crazy, like I was the forgetful one. I started second-guessing myself, tearing my room apart, looking for things I knew weren't there. The final straw came a few weeks later. I have a necklace that's incredibly important to me. It was a gift from my grandmother before she passed away. It's not flashy or expensive, but its sentimental value is off the charts. I keep it in a special jewelry box on my dresser. One morning I went to put it on, and the box was empty. My heart sank. I just knew she had taken it. I didn't even bother asking her this time. I felt this cold fury wash over me. This wasn't about snacks or sweaters anymore. She had crossed a line. I knew I couldn't prove it, but my gut was screaming at me. I decided I couldn't live with a thief. The problem was, we were both on the lease. Kicking her out wasn't going to be easy, I started thinking. How could I get her out of my life for good? I felt stuck and betrayed. Living in that apartment became unbearable. The trust was completely shattered. Every time I left my room, I'd lock the door. The atmosphere was thick with tension. I stopped talking to her unless it was absolutely necessary. The friendly apartment we'd built had turned into a silent war zone. That's when I decided to do some detective work. I remembered how casually she used to talk about her side hustle. She was always getting packages and then meeting people in the parking lot for quick exchanges. She'd told me she was selling vintage clothes online, but something about it always felt off. The sheer volume of packages and the secrecy around it all, it just didn't add up. So, I started paying closer attention. I noticed the packages didn't have return addresses from clothing companies. They were plain brown boxes. My suspicions started growing. What was she really doing? One day, while she was out, I saw another package had arrived for her. It was sitting right by the front door. Curiosity got the better of me. I know, snooping is bad, but at this point, all rules of etiquette were out the window. The box was surprisingly heavy for its size. I gave it a little shake, and I heard a strange clinking sound, like glass. It definitely wasn't close. My mind started racing. What could it be? My first thought was that she was dealing with something illegal. It was a long shot, but it was the only thing that made sense. I decided to take a huge risk. I remembered that our lease had a very strict no commercial business clause. The apartment was for residential purposes only. If I could prove she was running a business out of our home, that would be a direct violation of the lease agreement. This was my chance. I started gathering evidence. I took photos of the constant stream of packages coming in and out. I discreetly recorded the short cash-in-hand transactions she was doing in the parking lot. I even managed to find her online store, and it wasn't for vintage clothes. She was selling unlicensed homemade beauty products. With a folder full of evidence, I called our landlord. I explained the situation calmly. I told him about the stealing, which he was very sorry to hear about, but I focused on the lease violation. I said, "I'm really worried. There are constant strangers coming to our building, and I'm concerned she's running an unauthorized and uninsured business from the apartment." I sent him the photos and links. He was shocked. He had trusted me, and by extension he had trusted her. Seeing the evidence of a full-blown commercial operation being run out of his property was the last straw for him. The next day, Jenna was served an eviction notice. It cited breach of contract due to conducting commercial activities on a residential-only property. She completely panicked. She came to me, furious, yelling and accusing me of setting her up. I just stayed calm and said, "Jenna, you brought this on yourself. You stole from me, you lied to me, and you broke the terms of our lease." She had 30 days to move out. The next month was the most awkward month of my life, but seeing her pack her things was one of the most satisfying sights I've ever seen. And you know what? As she was moving her last box out, I saw my grandmother's necklace fall out of her jacket pocket. She tried to hide it, but I saw it. I just picked it up, put it on, and closed the door behind her without saying a word. I got my apartment back, I got my peace of mind back, and most importantly, I got my grandmother's necklace back. So what do you think? Was I too harsh, or did she get exactly what she deserved? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Roommate stories can be wild, so if you have one, I'd love to hear it. Thanks so much for watching and listening to my crazy story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content. See you in the next one.